Hello and welcome back to my channel for this very impromptu video. The Pandorica Opens 10 years on. Yeah, if you didn't know, the day I'm recording this, the 19th of June 2020, is 10 whole years since the Pandorica Opens first aired, which I find staggering, frankly. I was 9 years old at the time, so the gap between me being born and that episode airing and then from that point on to now is essentially the same amount of time that's passed, and that's just mind-blowing. Anyway, yeah, what an incredible story. I was thinking about this actually now. I don't think I've watched it prior to today for maybe 5 or 6 years. But anyway, upon seeing the news that it was 10 years old, I thought I'd crack open the beautiful Series 5 Steelbook and give it another watch. And yeah, I just thought I'd share a few off-the-cuff thoughts from that rewatch with you today. So I think the main thing that stuck out to me, again, while watching it, is just the scale of the storytelling. There's just so much going on, but it never really feels manic. There's a lot of really great tension building. It's a great setup, possibly the greatest setup, I think, to a finale we've had. I mean, the whole mystery of the Pandorica is just so perfect. You know, you've got this puzzle box. What could be inside it? It's the most deadly creature in the whole universe. That is instantly appealing to fans and non-fans alike. You know, I bet fans at the time were thinking, oh, is it the Master? Is it Davros? Is it Dalek? The possibilities for that are endless. Or is it something brand new? And the genius twist of it actually being designed for the Doctor, it just plays out so brilliantly. I was saying over on Twitter that I have a distinct memory of seeing an image of the Doctor being dragged towards the Pandorica before that actually happened on TV. I'm sure some of it was spoiled beforehand online if you knew where to look. There were images, I think, of the Pandorica, kind of concept art for it, which clearly showed the 11th Doctor as part of that drawing, because they'd had to design it with the proportion of the 11th Doctor in mind, and Matt Smith, obviously. And then this promo image as well of the Doctor being dragged towards the Pandorica by the Romans with all these aliens, you know, the Daleks, Cybermen, Jadoon, the Hoiks. So I'm sure ahead of broadcast, some of this was spoiled to me. I'm not sure, you know, if other people remember that as well. You know, perhaps let me know in the comments if you remember any of this being spoiled in advance. But nevertheless, even so, you know, it's such a awesome moment when towards the end of the episode you kind of realise it's the Doctor who is going in the Pandorica. The Pandorica is empty, there's no one inside there. The whole episode is kind of building up to that point, that reveal of what it's going to be, and then it's empty. It's just genius. It's really well played, and in terms of a hook to kind of keep you watching and keep you engaged and get you involved in this finale, it's fantastic writing from Stephen Moffat. And of course, besides the Pandorica as well, that there's so many other surprises in this story. I mean, even from the kind of, I think it's about 7 minutes, the pre-title sequence, one of the longest ones we've ever had, with all those cameos from Van Gogh and Churchill and Bracewell, Liz 10, River Song obviously as well, in Storm Cage. There's so much going on in that pre-title scene alone, and it really gives it a massive sense of scale and of just bringing this series to a really rewarding climax with all these cameos from characters, you know, you've met over the past 11 episodes so far. In terms of surprise moments then, you've got the painting being of the TARDIS exploding, that whole thing, which the pre-titles is kind of playing up and setting up for that reveal just before the theme tune kicks in. You've got the River Song thing with Hello Sweetie written on the cliff face, brilliant. You've got Rory's return obviously as well. There's just so much going on, and when I was watching it, you really do kind of get that sense of, you know, there's all these surprises left, right and centre, really keeping you engaged in this mad story. It really is like a kind of puzzle box, you know, like Pandora's box or the Pandorica, where there's so much going on that doesn't make sense yet. I did get a sense of Stephen Moffat kind of writing himself into a corner a little bit. There's obviously so many references to the show's lore as well, with all the spaceships, things like Draconians and Dravins and Zygons before they came back in the 50th, obviously, as well as Daleks and Cybermen and Sontarans or whatever as well. Because there's one point where they first have the broadcasts coming through from the ships, and it's just the Daleks, and they clearly want us to think, oh, this is going to be a Dalek episode. That's the main reveal. And then there's the Cybermen ships as well, and gradually they add all these things in, and it slowly kind of builds up to the reveal of the Alliance. Just a fantastic conceit and a really, really brilliant idea, and so well played out. You know, the setup in this story, incredible. The anticipation for that cliffhanger. It really is. You know, how are they going to get out of that one? How's Stephen Moffat going to get out of this one? Let alone the 11th Doctor. Because they basically end the episode with the world being blown up and disappearing. You know, that's the final shot of the episode. That wonderful zoom out to the view from space of the Earth, and then it just fades out, and okay, you know, that's the end. How are they going to get out of that one? Another little random thought just before I end this is that a lot of Series 5 is concerned with underground settings that I've come to realise. If you think about the Underhenge in this story, going back to the series, you've got, in the other two parters, you've got the Silurians, obviously, with their whole thing living underground. You've got the caves in The Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone. You've got the Beast Below, obviously, is concerned with stuff that's down under. Well, not down under, but you know what I mean. You've got the war rooms in Victory of the Daleks. I'm trying to think if there are any other examples as well. But that's a recurring theme that I've spotted. Probably not intentional, but yeah, a lot of these stories are about underground caves or tunnels or spooky settings, and on a sort of related note as well, with Amy's house in this story, that kind of becomes a haunted house. A lot of that Moffat aesthetic from this era seems to be about those kind of dark, spooky tunnels and corridors and houses and all the rest of it. That's a weird place to end, but yeah. Do let me know your thoughts on this story. 10 years on, you know, were you there when it first went out? What did you think of it then? What do you think of it now? And as I say, for me, it's just a masterpiece in terms of tension and suspense and misdirection and surprise. All that stuff. You know, the whole thing with Pandorica, you can never do that again. The whole reveal of essentially the Doctor being the villain. You know, the Doctor is the monster. It's just a fantastic idea and so well executed. Overall, a really, really fantastic first half to the Series 5 finale, which has got to be one of the best ones of all time. I might do another one of these next week as well for The Big Bang, which will obviously be 10 years old this time next week, and it'll be the 10th anniversary of Amy and Rory's wedding as well, the 26th of June 2010. So, yeah, maybe look out for that. I suppose I'll try and get it out there. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. Do check out other recent stuff, namely the live stream I did yesterday with Miles. Doctor Who named that tune. It was very fun to do, and lots of people seem to enjoy playing along to that, so do check it out if you haven't watched it already. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching once again, and goodbye for now.